occasion today. Today is a full moon. As being a full moon, it is just only the calendrical significance what we are celebrating. This full moon, a Vaishak full moon, has its own significance in our history. I wouldn't say that it's only the Buddhist history, but it's a common history in India, in Nepal, or anywhere actually. The 6th lunar month, this is a lunar month, 6th lunar month, full moon has a very, very significance in terms of the natural, I guess that something which didn't expect to be happen. Relating to today's, we call Buddha Jayanti Day. Generally, it is very fun, I guess, that if we say that it's a Buddha Jayanti, because Thailand just celebrated what they call Buddha Jayanti last year. And then even that flair of that Buddha Jayanti is still keeping on in this year's too. However, the word Buddha Jayanti, which Thai first used last year, has been the word in Nepal denoting for the Vaishaka Day or Visakha Day. In Thailand we call Visakha Day or Visakha Puja Day. In Nepal they call it Buddha Jayanti Day. Basically Jayanti means that a birthday, anniversary day, ceremonial day. And it is the day we call the celebration of the Buddha Day. So that's why we call it a Buddha Day sometimes. When we say it's a Buddha Day, it is not only that the Buddha was born 2,600 years ago, today. It is exactly today, it's a full moon day, where Buddha was born. Where? In Nepal. Where in Nepal? Lumbini. I once taught in a school. It's a high school in Thailand. And I asked this question, where Buddha was born? The students was very smart enough. They said that, Suan Lum. เคยไปสอนนักเรียนมัธยมถามเด็กนักเรียนว่าพระพุทธเจ้าประสูติที่ไหนเด็กฉลาดมากตอบว่าประสูติที่สวนลุม First I thought that okay it must be Lumbini in Nepal, but I doubted. So I asked, where is that Suan Lum? And those boys, confidently answered that it is here. The Suan Lum here in Thailand. So I said, sorry. So before I go to explain, I said that why a prince of Nepal come and born in this garden, this park here in Thailand, and the boys was, I would say that they are very clever. They said that yes, because the Buddha's mother, Queen Mahamaya, had an appointment with the Chulalongkorn doctor to give a diagnosis. So the traffic is so bad. So on the way, she couldn't make it to Chulalongkorn, so it's come to the Suan Lum here. So there is some link. Buddha was born in Nepal. Buddha was born in Lumbini, and we are here. Although we are far away from Nepal, where Buddha was born, but we are in the Lumbini, although it's the fake Lumbini, but we are here in Lumbini to celebrate, to memory, to remind us of that very event which took place 2,500 years ago. It's not only the Buddha's birth. It is worldwide celebrated as one of the very important days these days. In many countries, even it is a not Buddhist country, they regard the full moon day of Vaishak or the May or the Buddha's days become a holiday. Even in Indonesia, it's a Muslim country. Even in Malaysia, it's a Muslim country. They regard this day as a holiday for the Buddhists, or to remind of Buddha. Therefore, the Buddha is a very special person. Buddha is not only the hero among the Buddhists, but Buddha is also a remarkable symbol of world peace. His message, which had been carried on for 2,500 years ago, and still carried on, it emphasized the main idea of how can we create peace within us, peace within our families, peace within our nations, and most importantly, world peace. The message of the Buddha is more relevant than the time of the Buddha, in fact. Nowadays, we are living in diversity. Nowadays, we are living in differences. We have a different idea. We have a different identity. We have a different flavor. Those personal interests really bring us to confront and have a conflict and violate each other. In this situation, it is so relevant that we should remind of the Buddha. We should remind of the message of the Buddha. In the Buddha Jayanti, which means the Buddha's birthday, in Thailand we call it Visakha Puja, which means that the celebration we made on the Visak full moon. Visakha Puja basically just a constellation of the Visakha. And sometimes symbolically we call it in Nepal, in Newari, in Kathmandu, we call Swayapuni, full moon of flourishing flower, blossoming flowers. There's another celebrations, which is the same as in Japan. They also call that Buddha Jayanti as a symbol as a blossoming flower. So it is not only the peace, it will give sort of a blossom in our heart with the message which can bring us happiness. So it is an event when Buddha was born in Nepal. After 35 years, on the same day, same full moon of May, after 35 years of his birth, Buddha awakened. Buddha attained enlightenment, become a Buddha. And after another 45 years, on the same day, he passed away from this earth. Mahaparinirvana. So this is a thrice sacred day. Buddha was born, Buddha was enlightened, Buddha passed away. What does it mean? By the text, it says that it occurred on the same day. I don't know, because I can't remember if I was survived on that day, and then I become reborn as a monk here these days, but I can't remember. But it does have a symbolic meaning. I always used to teach my students that when we read Buddhist texts, when we deal with the life of Buddha, what we need to do is that we have to decode it. Before you used to have one Hollywood movie called Da Vinci Code. Yeah, we have to decode that code. But I will say that we have to decode the Buddha code in order to understand Buddha. Basically, if we talk about Buddhism, the main thing in Buddhism, we say that, for example, generally when we announce as a Buddhist, you call Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, I take refuge to the Buddha. Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, I take refuge to the Dhamma. Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, I will take refuge to the Sangha. What does it mean? How one can take refuge who already passed away 2,500 years ago? Buddha is not with us. The most we can see is that this fake figure. The statue, very nice, but Does Buddha really look like that? I doubt it. It is a symbolic way of relating the reality there. Basically, Buddha images was started by the Greek even, not even us. We didn't have that attachment with the Buddha image actually. It was a later development. We have an attachment with the true Buddha, that is a Buddha nature within us. Therefore, when we think of the life of the Buddha in terms of the Buddha Jayanti, Buddha's birth, Buddha's enlightenment, Buddha's death or parinibbana, simply I would say that it is not so different from, I just say, Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. When in a Buddhist ceremony, when a Buddhist says that I take refuge in the Buddha, basically it means that we are reminding of the Buddha's birth. It was the full moon of May. A man, a simple man, a prince. Even that prince, these days we always imagine must be a big country, must be a very powerful prince. In fact, he wasn't. Kapilavastu, where nowadays it is proven to be in Nepal, although our neighboring country always claim that it is in India, but archaeologists already proven 1000% that Kapilavastu, the palace of the Prince Siddhartha, is in Nepal. And at that time, when Prince Siddhartha was born, although he was a prince, he was not a big prince actually. Because Kapilavastu is under the bigger country, the Pasindi Kosava. Kapilavastu is not an independent big country, it's a small country. So even as a prince, he was not a big prince. He's a small state prince. But his message covered the whole world, the whole earth, shaking the whole earth. So, when Buddha was born, it means the proclamation of human independence. That is the meaning of Buddha's Saranang Gacchami. That is the meaning of Buddha's birth. Because when Buddha was born, Siddhartha was born. Siddha Artha. It means that one who fulfilled all the wishes. And how he fulfilled his wishes? Not based on praying to somebody, some divine creature, some divine belief. He said that every fulfillment, every success has to base on human capacity. You don't have to depend your faith, you don't have to depend your success on somebody whom we never see. Buddha gave that announce of freedom, of divine power, by the birth of the Buddha himself. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, basically Buddha means that what? Knowing. Buddha means that awaken. Buddha means that destroying the ignorance. Buddha doesn't mean that statue alone. The real Buddha is not Prince Siddhartha. The real Buddha is his knowledge, which every one of you have that. And especially being a Nepalese blood, I would say that we do have more than anybody else if you try to look within yourself. Buddha Saranang Gacchami is the birth of the Buddha. Dhammang Saranang Gacchami is the enlightenment of the Buddha. Because what? On the Vaishak day, on the Buddha's full moon, what happened is that Buddha was enlightened under the Bodhi tree, which basically means that he realized the power of reality. He realized the truth. Truth of what? He says that on that very day, he uttered a word. I was searching and searching the house builder of my body. I was searching after searching, I never found it. Alas, I found it today. I have destroyed you. I have destroyed all the pillars. I have destroyed all the roof. I have destroyed all the ceiling. Now you can create your house anymore. That is the symbol of enlightenment. That is the symbol of our enlightenment. Just before I came here, I was interviewed by a radio. I was broadcasting on a live radio. And then they asked me one very sensitive question. Is that Venerable Sir, you see at the news, just today, there was some suicide. And that suicide, not only suicide himself, he killed his 2 children, 2 sons, and took with him. Just recent news. And then, how do you say that? How do you deal with that? I said, because it is happening, because you are following your ignorance. They are following their desire. They are following their anger. So they don't know what to do. If they have enough buddhi or Buddha, they wouldn't commit that one. Unfortunately, they lost that. They lost the Buddha from their head. They lost their Buddha from their heart. So that tragic happened. So that's what basically means that Buddhang Saranang Gacchami means that you have to develop the understanding, the knowing. Knowing of what? Knowing of the reality. Reality of what? Reality of the truth. So that is the enlightenment. That is the Dharma. Dharma, once you realize, means that you are able to balance. Our life is just like, just we are traveling on the sea. There's all the waves coming, all the sufferings. And then we have to balance that. And if you can know the reality, if you know how the wave is coming, then you can balance yourself well. That is the Dharma. That is the enlightenment. Then, when he was 80, he passed away. When he passed away, he didn't say that Buddha says that you have to worship me, but he said that my body is decaying. It is normal. I am dying soon. So your teacher, your guidance will be my teachings. My teachings there means that the truth, the Dharma itself. Buddha never claimed that all this Dharma is he invented by himself. He never claimed that. He said this is an absolute normal truth, and then I have just pointed out, and then that is your guidance. So he leave it to the Sangha. He leave it to the community. So that is a Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. And that is a death of the Buddha. Well, I have little time, I guess. Because if I keep on going on, instead of giving a mental happiness, what you are feeling now, it will be a more mental suffering, I guess. And then, especially physical suffering. Maybe when I was walking back, I can smell the aroma of a food going on. And then I guess that everyone is here for more sort of eye entertainment than just listening to ear entertainment as what we're doing now. So there's the dances will be there and so on. So I guess that my message for Buddha's birthday as Visakha Puja or the Buddha Jayanti day is that please remind who we are. And especially in this very auspicious day, we are, as a Nepalese, we can be so proud of it, that we gave birth to a man who happened to light this world, who happened to show the absolute light for this world, make this world more favorable to live, make this world more like a heaven on earth. And because his message is no gender, no races, nothing as what we used to be. His message is a colorless message. I always say that I don't want to claim myself a Buddhist. Once I color myself a Buddhist, it's already black. B for black. It's already portraying myself. The message of the Buddha is a colorless because it is touching to the heart of every individual, every corner of the world. These days, our Nepalese Buddha is worshipped, followed, even in the deep jungle in Africa. Yesterday, I was in the UN building, ESCAP building. From 87 countries came for the celebration of the Buddha Jayanti. So I saw a very big delegation from the African, the African countries, all the blacks, very, very, very black people. And then I loved them. They always say that Buddha is their Buddha. They never said that Buddha is Nepalese. Because they said, look at the Buddha image, you see all the hair curling. It's African. So I said that, okay, so be it. I worship your African Buddha. I say, fine. So being a Sakya, I have some link with African as well. Then. So, message would be that, please feel proud to be a Nepalese. Feel proud to be a Buddhist. And then there is nothing that we can feel that we are so pity for that. Because the message he gave, it is giving everyone such a happiness. Just by listening, we can feel the happiness. We can see the harmony. We can feel the peace. So, at least in today's Buddha's birthday, so I would say that please remind of those teachings, which you may, just never just listen or sometimes never pay attention. I would say that I would request to pay attention more on that. And then paying attention more on that means that paying attention to your heart more. Please listen to your heart. And then please awake your heart to a compassionate heart, to a compassionate community. So therefore, as we are living in a community, basically I always say, last time I also told in one of our gatherings, said that who we are is based on where we are, whom you with. We are not alone in this world. Therefore, whatever you do, whatever you think, always think on behalf of other people as well. Always think of the people who is sitting next to you. Don't think that this is your home. So always think of compassion. Please plant the seed of compassion in your heart so that we can live more peacefully. Leave all something which we don't agree each other to the background scene. Bring something which can agree together, and that will create more harmonious society. Well, having said that, to create that harmony, to create that compassionate idea, so I would like you, every one of you here, to remind of the Buddha. You can see that Buddha as an example, or you can see Buddha inside you, whatever the face it is, and think of the peace. Buddha says that peace is not that far away. You can touch, you can experience a Buddha any moment. How you do that? Close your eyes.